Good morning, Vero family. The Vero Raccoon here. How's everybody doing? I'm doing pretty good myself, except I had a lot of weird dreams last night. But since you're not my therapist, no, they're just too weird and too long for a gab session right now. But I was given a challenge by my good friend Michael Rivera, and it was a music challenge about 5 music albums that have influenced my life. So, um, this is a really difficult, um, this is a really difficult challenge, and I think it was for everybody that's done it so far. I had to go back and look and hit the hashtag in his profile to figure out what the hell this thing was. And then I saw a bunch of people's and I went, oh, that's what they're talking about. So that's what happens when you don't get on Vero for a day. Okay, so I've had a lot of influences. My mom and dad listened to various kinds of music. Mom was into things like Elvis and the Beatles, the Carpenters, the Bee Gees, Captain and Tennille, Dr. Hook, um, people like that. Dad was into country music, Willie Nelson, is it Statler Brothers? Um, oh my gosh, Johnny Cash. Uh, there's two. There's a junior and a senior, and I can't remember what their names are. The guy that sings "There's a Tear in My Beer," he likes that guy. I don't know, but he doesn't care as much for music as he used to because he doesn't like a lot of the newer country music because it doesn't stick to its roots, according to him. What I think is great is that the country music of today, the country pop, opens up a whole new avenue for younger people. But I'm not a country music person per se. I'm open-minded to it. Some of it's pretty good. I listened to very little bit of it, and um, I have one sister that's really into country music, and my other sister listens to 80s rock. My mom currently listens to mostly what's on the radio and then the old stuff that she likes. But I've also had a lot of influences through my grandparents. Um, grand, my grandmother and my grandfather on the maternal side, they listened to a lot of music from the 30s and the 20s, and I always loved stuff like Errol, Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, Ray Charles. Um, I'm really blanking out when I try to do this, and it makes me mad because I do know music. I like a lot of the big band music and stuff like that. And then on the other side, on my dad's side, which is where he gets the country music and stuff from, um, there was again that old country music and a lot of that I cannot remember the names, but it's funny because my husband's parents, um, my father-in-law listened to a lot of the stuff that my grandparents listened to, and he'd be listening to his music and going, "Oh, you don't know who this is," and I'd start singing along. And he was shocked. And I'm like, my grandparents love this music. And when I hear that stuff come up, there's a lot of fond memories. So, but that's not what made those songs didn't make huge impacts on my life. They're just really nostalgic for me. But the albums that did make huge impacts on me, I'm going to share with you now. So I think there were 5 that we had to share, which, oh, this was really hard to do. So the first one was um, Al Stewart's Year of the Cat. This was put out in like 1976. My mom had it on record, and the album cover was gorgeous. It was a fold out, and the the art was all like a room done up with um, bottles of perfume and makeup, and it was like a woman cat of some sort. It was just I would stare at it all the time and listen to this album and just I would love it, and I play it over and over again, especially the song "Year of the Cat." I don't know what it is about that song, but I would just. My parents had the old turntable and stuff, and you'd put well, not like the old kind. They're not that old. They're in their late 60s now, but um, I'd put it on the record player and just crank it up and lay on the floor and just listen to this album over and over and over again and look at the artwork. And I just love this album. And I'd sing along with it and hum to it, and just it got to the point where my mom was like, "You're gonna wear out the record," I'd be like, "No, I just love this so much." And I'd have my snacks, after school, and can I listen to Al Stewart? And my mom's like, "This kid is weird," because she likes this Al Stewart album. So that was the first album that came to mind on this challenge. So that's the first one. The second one is Beastie Boys' License to Ill. Um, Rap today, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this, but today's rap, or whatever you want to call it, a lot of it is shit. Okay, the 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 old stuff like Run DMC and uh, old LL Cool J and the Fat Boys and all that stuff, they were really good. Okay, Beastie Boys were phenomenally fantastic. They When they came on the scene, I wore out 2 cassettes listening to these guys over and over and over. I mean, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, um, Fight for Your Right to Party, um, Brass Monkey. I loved this album, and it showed me that white people could actually rap. It was the coolest thing. These 3 skinny white boys from New York could rap, and I was in that scene because it was like 1986, and I was into sneaking booze and stuff like that, and these guys and their videos were so funny, and I could relate to that, and I loved them. Um, at the same time, okay, Metallica's Master of Puppets. That album is huge and near and dear to me, especially Sanitarium, Welcome Home, um, Mood Swings, and things I was going through. This album, I could relate to this album too. Like 2 sides to the coin. You got the Beastie Boys partying on one side, and then the dark Metallica on the other side. Um, Master of Puppets was a godsend too, because I would put that on and put my headphones on and just listen to it over and over and over and over again, and that was a safety net for me. So um, yeah, that came at a good time. It was almost like they were reading my mind. Then in 2006, My Chemical Romance came out with the Black Parade and changed my life. After that, I became a huge My Chemical Romance fan. I know they had stuff out before that, but I was a little late to the scene. At that time, I was going through another huge phase, and as they evolved when they finally hit the Killjoys, I was evolving as well. In fact, they MCR has moved me so much that I don't know if you know their album cover for Danger Days, but they have a desert spider with an American flag. I actually have a tattoo of that, um, and it means so much to me. This band is the one is the one band that I go to all the time, no matter what. When I'm feeling down, or when I need inspiration, or when I just need to be alone, or if I'm having a rough day, My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade is the first thing I grab. Um, every song on that means something to me, and I can't even I can't even I can't even express to you, and I don't really want to go into that, but um, yeah, they mean a lot to me. Um, so that's one, two, three, four, and last but not least is Sick Puppies. Tripolar is the album that came out in 2009. I love the band Sick Puppies, and my husband had never heard of them. And they came to the town ballroom here in Buffalo, and I was so excited. And I said, "Oh, can we go to this concert?" And my husband's like, "Who are these guys?" And I said, "You will love their music. And even if you don't, will you please go with me?" Because I had their albums. And I was like, "You can even listen to their albums. I have them." And he said to me, "Well, if you want to go, of course we'll go." So it was general admission, and we got right up in the front. I mean, we were right there. We could, I mean, feel the sweat off these guys. And the show was so great. And afterwards, we met the band. And I was just like, oh, I was in my glory. And my husband loved the band. Excuse me. Um, we got shirts and everything and got their signatures, got to talk to them for a little while. The song Odd One on this album, excuse me, really fits with me because they have lyrics in there saying, "Don't let someone tell you you're no one." Um, that is really important. If you ever get a chance, listen to the song Odd One by Sick Puppies. It's about someone that doesn't fit in, and how special they are, even though they don't fit in, and not to let anybody make you feel like like you don't belong. Don't let anybody make you feel like less than you are. So that song itself is fantastic, but the whole album, it just, there's not a terrible song on there. Most albums you'll find one or two songs where you skip over it. I don't skip over any song on any of these albums that I've shared, and that says a lot for me because I get very impatient and flip through songs. I don't on any of these albums that I've shared. So Sick Puppies, it broke my heart when the lead singer left the band. The original lead singer left the band. They're not the same anymore. We've seen them twice, and we've met them twice, and um, they're just they were fantastic. So Al Stewart, You're the Cat, Beastie Boys, License to Ill, Metallica, Master of Puppets, MCR, The Black Parade, and Sick Puppies, Tripolar. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Michael. Am I supposed to challenge people with this? I don't know who's been challenged, so um, I'll look at my list and I'll put it down in the mentions. Okay, thanks for the challenge. Bye.